What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I'm gonna make this quick, even though the video's not quick. As long as we got YouTubers deriding Tariq Nasheed and trying to make him look good, as long as we got people deriding Tariq Nasheed, I'm gonna be on that ass. All right, you know why? Because I always got time. Just like the deriders got time, I got time. And I'm gonna remind all my proud African Americans, all my brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, and all my brothers and sisters on the continent, that we African Americans do not accept FBA. We don't accept the name FBA, and I'm talking about foundational Black Americans. They are an embarrassment to our community. They are pariahs of the community. They're the weakest link of the community, right? Anytime you hear them say a word tether, you know that identifies them as weak niggas. Anytime you hear that word tether, just know the person saying it is a weak nigga. Anybody identifying themselves of FBA, they part of the weakest link. Anybody who say Tariq Nasheed is not their leader are followers of Tariq Nasheed. And anybody deriding Tariq Nasheed is Tariq Nasheed's bitch. So without further ado, I'm gonna make this unnecessarily long video reinforcing why anybody who supports Tariq Nasheed ain't nothing but Tariq Nasheed's bitch, and FBA is nothing to be taken seriously. I'm gonna do that. Anyway, enjoy. That's all I gotta say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Stop arguing with the FBAs. They ain't black, so they shouldn't be a part of the black conversation. FBAs are a contradiction. They are a whitewashed, sellout contradiction. You cannot be pro-black. You cannot claim to be for the community while also dividing the community. That you're canceling yourself out. One, it don't add up. The math just don't math on that. You can name all of the bad experiences that you've had with Africans. You can name all the bad experiences you've had with the European reject. And the bad experiences that you've had with European reject will far outweigh, as a community, not individually, because individually none of what you're talking about matter. Everything is about the bigger picture, the larger scale. But you can't seem to comprehend the bigger picture or the larger scale because you're too saturated and too obsessed with your own self-hatred, Stockholm syndrome, and trauma from these selective moments that you've had with a group of people that you don't want to like anyway. So because you don't want to like them anyway, you have to believe this certain narrative and be obsessed with this certain narrative that automatically cancels you out from the pro-black conversation. Because there are aspects of your movement that directly help and aid Klan members. And if there are aspects of your movement that directly help the actual enemy, you have disqualified yourself from the pro-black conversation. You hate yourself so much that you want to commandeer somebody else's culture. You hate yourself so much that you want to rewrite history. Who does that sound like to you? Does that sound like what black people do? No, that sounds like what a European reject do. And you are taking on the same tactics. As a black person, we are the original people. We were the first to migrate. So although, yes, all life on Earth began in Africa, it wouldn't surprise me if when Columbus showed up, we were here already, but we were here already because we migrated first before everybody else, not because we were just here already. Y'all take pieces of information and you create a narrative around it because you don't want to be from Africa anyway. You don't want to like yourself anyway. You don't like who you are anyway. You don't like your blackness anyway. You code switch to a point of no return. You are self-hatred at its finest, the purest description, because you spend all day, you spend your whole time on this social media demonizing and helping Klan members and white supremacists divide this community, then somehow turn around, try to commandeer somebody else's culture because of your self-hatred, and you still pro-black? Stop arguing with the FBAs. They ain't black, so they shouldn't be a part of the black conversation. They shouldn't be a part of the Black American conversation. They shouldn't be a part of the African American conversation, American African conversation, Pan-African conversation. What they need is an ass whooping for the disrespect that they've shown towards this community, towards the Haitian American community, towards the Jamaican American community, towards the African community, towards the African American community, towards all of us, and towards the actual Native Americans. I want to make sure the Native Americans know, the Africans know, every black person globally know, FBAs are not black people. They are not African American. They're not Black American. They're not nothing. They just look like us. What they are is a whitewashed, copycat, watered down, hoe-ass version that hates themselves so much they want to delineate to get cozy up next to massa. They are European reject pets. And anybody got a problem with it, you can come see me personally, but you better have a gun with you, because I got all mine.
The only difference between a prostitute and a politician is that a prostitute has a pimp keeping an eye on her, and a politician doesn't. Until now.
Anybody can say there's a pimp. I go to a club and a lot of young guys are, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp. But you can tell them the attitude. I even wrote a book on the game, man. I got a book. I'm one of the 5 pimps in history to actually have a book about the game. That's why I'm so well known around the country, besides my impeccable pimping skills.
So do you think the way I'm looking at this is off, or do you think it's on? I mean, it's because I look at Congress, I see them selling themselves out. We've tried so many things to get some order. Yeah, well, it's all failed. So you're like the last resort, all right? If you can go down there as our pimp and bring some order to this house of ill repute, I think America would applaud you.
Will America applaud a pimp? I'm gonna show them how real pimp.
If you do this, if you slap them around a bit and get them, knock some sense into their head, and at the very least, if they're going to be whores for the people.
Okay, well, I will pimp for America. How about that? When I get my Mac on, I like to learn some of the local customs. So I went to visit one of my homies. He's an expert. That's Nick Nyhart over at Public Campaign. He knew all the players on my new block. Slick Nick, I want to get some of this Washington, D.C. lingo in my Rolodex. What's the campaign contribution?
A campaign contribution is a sum of money given to a person who's running for office to help them further their campaign.
Okay, so that's basically the cheddar that you guys are spreading around here in Washington, D.C. That's the money.
That's the money. That's the big money. And I don't think the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House members would be getting all that money unless the people who gave it to them expected something in return.
So basically, we got a bunch of hoes who are the politicians turning tricks for the lobbyists, and the tricks are favors, illicit favors that they really shouldn't be doing to get some of this contribution money, right?
About $3 billion this year.
Well, you looking at a $3 billion pimp. You feel me, Nicky? Slick Nick? Bam. Yeah, take me to the Capitol, homie. Let's go over and get some of this Congress money. I had more than 500 new hoes to bring into my stable, so I headed straight for the mother lode, the U.S. Capitol building. What's up, baby? I'm the new Mac in town. Look at all you hoes. Y'all keep on taking that oil money. Break me off a little cheddar. You little stable of bitches. Wait, who's your homeboy right here, man? Hold on, I'm spitting game at this bitch. What's up, baby? You don't want to work for a real pimp? Oh, baby. Looking good, though.
I'm sorry, I came to the wrong place.
Oh, I just want to spit a little game at you, baby.
I can't, I gotta go.
Oh, man, y'all need to get on this, man. I can hook you up. What's up, baby? Come over here and holler at a real pimp.
Gotta go well, Brent. You know, Brent?
No hoe would disrespect me like that unless they already had a pimp. And in this town, that's the Democratic and the Republican parties. These pimps bring in millions, and they weren't just going to let me in on the action. So I went down there to tell them that their services were no longer needed now that a real pimp was in town. So my thing is, I just want to show y'all how a real pimp does it, and I just want to let you know that they working for me now. You deal with them. The hell they don't.
For the people of Pennsylvania, the people of Texas.
They work for the pimp of Los Angeles because I done went and put the shoe on their ass. This is the new game now. I came in to D.C. to get my pimp on. I'm just like you. But the thing is, them hoes go through me now. They're my stable. You feel me, J-Dog? And I'm coming to you pimp to pimp because, you know, the rules of the game is that if you knock another pimp's hoe, you got to go check the pimp and let him know what's up.
Well, it sounds to me like you're quite upset and you're very disenchanted, like most Americans are, at the Republican majority in their effort to kill campaign finance reform.
J-Dog, I'm not upset with you, man. I mean, you know, I don't hate the player. I don't hate the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't play or hate. I congratulate, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're probably done for the...
Come on, man. One last thing, man. Really, who are you giving your money to, man? Because I might know. I'm telling you, I've been checking bitches all week, man.
Well, I really resent your use of that word, so I would ask
what word,
that you not
bitch?
do that. Yeah,
That's what they are. I mean, well, you resent the truth? They bitches. They hoes. And you a pimp. I mean, really. I mean, what other euphemism can we use? I like you, man. I'm telling you. We're on the same page with this pimp game, baby. It's all to the good. I think you got the picture that I was now the main Mac in charge.
Look, y'all can make all the comments y'all want. Y'all can get all the jokes out, bro. About who I am as a person, my Europeanness, nigga. I'm still black. Okay? But don't come in my comment sections promoting this FBA bullshit, bro, because you will get blocked. I swear to God, you will.
That's your leader? Is Tariq your leader? The pimp?
Young guys, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp, I'm a pimp. But you can tell them the attitude. I even wrote a book on the game, man. I got a book. I'm one of the 5 pimps in history to actually have a book about the game. I'm one of the 5 pimps in history to actually have a book about the game. That's why I'm so well known around the country.
That's the basic components of the game. In society where we live in, you either a pimp or you a hoe.
What I call the slow and low technique. Slow and low. When you talk slower, your voice automatically gets lower. It's like the Barry White effect. And when you talk low and slow, it gives a melodic, hypnotic tone that seduces women. So
some of you so-called FBAs, foundational black American, don't understand that you sound just like your oppressors. Instead of spreading your wings away from the oppressors, you are the oppressors in disguise. And you don't even realize it. Yes, I'm going to agree that a lot of black people come to America and don't even try to understand the system, which is where they mess up. Because in order to come to America, you have to understand the system, especially towards black people. And some of you FBAs gotta understand that, yo, the same thing that was taught in America isn't taught in other countries for most of black people. Like, I'm from Jamaica, bro. I did not know about racism, until I got here. I didn't even know what racism was. I did not know. I had to do my research. It's a good thing I came here in middle school. I have to learn my research. I have to understand everything. A lot of people who are from other countries and black come here. You think they're going to learn that shit? Hell no. Come and tell you right now. A lot of black people from other countries that come to America don't believe in racism. Don't believe it's even a thing until they experience it. After they experience it, then they're like, oh shit, it's a thing. Even sexism. A lot of women don't even know what sexism is. Even though it's a common thing in other countries. Sexism is heavily a thing in other countries because there's no rules and regulations for it. If a man is in charge, a man is in charge. Women don't get no type of position because they're women. Like, some of y'all gotta understand that you have to be patient. Some of y'all are not that patient. Some of you guys are ignorant.
See, let's go back to Obama. Obama was proxy racism. Obama was a blackface shield for the white supremacists. Let me tell y'all something. I've gotten calls from these white networks wanting to put me on and give me a real big bag to get on TV and get out here and start throwing black immigrants under the bus.
Hey man, I'm gonna be real brief, man, and maybe I'll put the video up. Tariq Nasheed is apparently subliminally talking about me because he's too vaginal to say my name directly. So I'm the person that he's trying to call COINTELPRO XYZ because I text and asked him if a man pretending to be a woman that's calling himself the queen of the FBA was something that they represented. And then he gets mad at me for asking him, and I'm only asking him because he's the quote-unquote head, especially on Twitter Spaces. So I figure I go to the source because we had a relationship, and instead of him respecting it, he calls me agent, talks about me subliminally. That shit don't really matter. What's diabolical, though, is that straight men who's supposed to be about foundational black people would allow a gay man to represent himself as the queen of your so-called movement.
It's me to support their backwards, ignorance point of views as regard African peoples and Pan-Africanism. If you think that you're going to get me as an ally, you got the wrong black man. I am an African, born an African, will die. I am an African, born an African, will die an African. I am not FBA. I am not ADOS. FBA. I am not African. I am not FBA. I am not ADOS. And no matter how long you've been in the Americas or anywhere in the world, we came here from Africa.
Since I'm living in my car today, I'm just going to try and catch up on all these TikTok. I am here to apologize. I made a horrible mistake. And let it be known, this is why you got to truly do your research. And sometimes you're moving and grooving, you're trying to reply to shit, and you don't do the research. And that's what happened to me in regards to FBA. I made a video earlier around FBA versus ADOS. And at that time, I just thought that FBA was a term, Foundational Black American. And I thought it was really a good fitting term to describe our experience and our ethnicity in this country. And then I had my understanding of ADOS, which for me is a xenophobic group or pseudo organization. Well, this person, thank you, in my comments said, hey, you know that FBA is Tariq Nasheed's joint. And I'm like, oh man, what did I do? I'm not a fan. Because he is one of a handful of black American orators. I like to call them orators. But they got the gift of gab like a mug. Just be talking shit. Just talking shit. Snake oil themselves. Something of what they say sound like it makes sense, but often we coming from pain and fear and frustration don't really unpack many of these origins, you know what I mean? That's in the community. Talk good game, boy. I first heard about him when he tried to talk good game about hip hop. For those who know me, I am a native New Yorker, born and bred, and you can see the grays in my hair. I've been so for a minute. Basically, I'm older than hip hop, honey. And this fool tried to break down the history of hip hop, saying that Latin folks weren't a part of the creation of hip hop. Tariq, now she's not even from New York. But I bet if he tried to say that to a New Yorker in New York, there'll be a problem. But he wouldn't be. Look, we are all guilty of being basically pseudo-intellectuals on this app. Some of us are better at it than others. And I try to do my due diligence, but this time I dropped the ball. And I'm kind of pissed off because it's a really good term, but it's created by somebody who I essentially consider an opportunist. He is not an intellectual. He does not do his research. He has not done research. At least nothing published. I mean, if you count podcasts. But I need someone to come up with a better term that is not attached to an opportunity to make coin, that is not attached to someone else's brand, and is not attached to a xenophobe. Because for me, to be Black American means it is attached to a deep, long history of culture and language and movement and invention and decision. Because all of our ancestors had to make decisions along the way that led to us. They had to make moves, whether they made it individually, whether they made it within their family, or through the community. But we moved. We made it happen. Not just for ourselves, but for others. And though we may argue on this app is not reality. Though we may have these diaspora kind of spit spats and ignorant conversations around the contribution of each other, reality is reality. And the reality for my people, my stem of the diaspora, is that our presence and our contribution is undeniable. Our identity is undeniable. And even our uniqueness, because we are the only one, or the only stem, but we are a minority, in our country. And that simple fact has shaped our reality and our experience and what we created out of that experience. So, yes, we may be frustrated when our brethren and our sisterin throughout the diaspora choose or choose not to, depending on the day and time, the situation, and context, identify as black. Sometimes, yeah, we all black and they mad at us because we're like, yeah, we identify as black, but they think that we're centering blackness around ourselves when really, if you look in our history, we created this idea of an interconnectedness, a blackness within the diaspora because we were the minority. Whereas our other brothers and sisters, and they were the majority in their country, they were fighting colonialism. So they were disempowered in another way, but they had each other in number. So they identified through tribe, nationality, ethnicity. It was harder for y'all, let's keep it 100, to want to identify with this idea of blackness initially, because it was connected to us. In your relationship with us and the country that we call home was always problematic. It's not based in ignorance. And then on the flip side of that, here we are saying, wait a minute, we know who we are. When we have this conflict even within our country. But at this point in 2024, a lot of us like, listen, we are Black American. We have been here way too long. There are too many unique attributes about us because we have been here way too long. Perhaps even longer than many African countries have been in existence as we know it today in this modern time of Europeans carving out shit. So see, our existence as a diaspora is very complex, you know? And all this back and forth really does not serve us because we are distracted from the time we can commit to truly learning about one another and how we're connected. Because that interconnection truly is our power. We don't have to speak the same language. We don't even have to do a deep dive into each other. We just need to know enough to move with each other. So can we try that? Have I digressed from my original point? Yeah, a little bit. The point is, I'm pissed that FBA was created by an idiot. So I just got to figure out a different term. But for now, it's Black American. And say it loud. I am black and I am proud. All right, P. James Brown. And if anybody wants to buck up, I just want you to find anything within your culture that identifies as blackness, like a song or something, anything that predates us doing it. If you can do that, I say less, but you can't. It's okay if we created it, but we don't own it. Come on, we've been asking y'all to come on. Just if you're gonna come on to the black side, stay there.
Hello, you guys. My name is Ashrat Yeo Moon. I joined FBA here on TikTok not that long ago, and I will be telling my story. These people are trying to silence me. These people are attacking me. Listen, I know I'm acting crazy right now. It is a lot that is going on. This FBA group is a cult, and I just left the cult, and it took me some time to realize that I just left the cult. And the way that these people are operating on the internet, the FBA community, listen, it's not about to be pretty for FBA. I'm gonna be so honest for you. It is not gonna be pretty for FBA because the truth is being exposed about who y'all are. Y'all are anti-black. And y'all act like the supremacists that y'all complain about so much. And that's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. You guys ain't fighting for no reparations. Y'all so focused on targeting people that's seen as under you because you ain't got all this smoke for the white team man because you ain't got the intellect to even talk to a white team man. You don't even got the intellect to even speak about Europeans and white tea people. So you rather just go for Africans and Caribbeans people who are really coming from destitute places that have been destroyed by Europeans. Y'all don't never come for Europeans. Y'all know how to, y'all, the intellectual intelligence is not there. And then y'all got a lot of people on this internet who's not that, you feel me, like witty, that's representing y'all. That's why nobody want to be associated with y'all. This is why FBA is about to crumble. It's about to turn the ashes into everybody's mouth. And it's going to wash away with the saliva. That's what's going to happen with FBA playing with Ashrat's Yale Moon and try to paint me as a colorist using FBA, using the passion of FBA people to click them up, to make groups and cliques to try to get people pages banned. This is a cult, and they're preying on Black American people who's looking for a home, who's looking for a association. They're gathering people up, and they're creating a cult. And I'm gonna expose everything when I go live. I will be live soon, and I will be exposing everybody. And I'm saying names, and I got screenshots, and I got evidence. That's what I got. I got everything because y'all were coming to me. Remember that. Y'all want to try to set me up on a chopping block and let me get publicly humiliated by Africans, by FBA, and by non-FBA. And I dedicated my platform, and I actually had African friends, boo. What you call it? I don't connect with Black Americans culturally. I lost friends because of this. I lost friends because of this. And you think it's jokes and you think it's giggles. It's not going to be jokes and giggles forever, babe. You can have this page. You ain't having my other one. You ain't having my other one. And you can't have my name in my face. That's what y'all mad about. It's my face. This is why y'all want to. Listen, we going to get into it. FBA is a cult. It is an anti-Black cult. That's what FBA is. FBA is an anti-Black cult. And we gonna get in tune with who they really is. We'll be seeing you soon on my live. Go follow my pages. My name is Ashras Yo Moon. A lot of people know me on TikTok. They know me, and this is why these people, they didn't know me, but people that know them know me. Indigenous TikTok and Africans that y'all going back and forth with, that y'all want to play. All of them already knew me before I even knew FBA. They all knew me. Okay. Like I said, everybody steady playing with me. Everybody steady playing with me. And then you want to keep saying, oh, because she a colorist, she a colorist. If you play with me, I'm going to play with you too. You want to keep calling me a colorist, a full Black woman? Y'all want to paint me something other than being fully Black for what? So you could disrespect me, and then you could be like, oh, you're light skinned. No, I'm fully Black. I'm going to get with you too. Because you think you're going to eat me up in ways you wish. You wish you could play with a white T person. You know you wouldn't play with a white T person. You know why? Because you don't really hate them. You're jealous of me because you wish you was me so you could be closer to them. These people don't really hate the white T person. They're not really against them. They're jealous of them. They're jealous of the white T person. They're not really fighting against white T people. No, of course not. That's not what's going on. They wish they were them. They wish they were them. And they would hate people like me. This is why I don't associate with Black Americans. Because they would hate a person like me because of how I look naturally. Because I have because I could pass for being mixed or Latina. So I have a look to me that would be deemed as exotic to them or something like that. I don't know what it is. But when you're actually around white people, they never question, are you mixed? Are you this? The only thing they'll think is, oh, I'm probably like Spanish and Black, but that's not that special. I'm just really pretty. With a pretty skin complexion. It's like, oh, you're what? That's why I say they mad. Listen, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. We gonna break it down. I'll reassure you, but this is definitely a cult. And I can't believe they try to drag me into this and try to keep me into it. I had to block all of these people. These people were stalking me. These people were hunting me down, okay? But they were making it seem like they liked me. But these people were hunting me down, sweetheart. These people literally targeted me. They targeted me. And you think you gonna you gonna target me and mad people know me. People wondering what's going on with me. And you think you just gonna play me? You não tem esse nome. Esse era dureço. Baby, tomorrow night, I hope you got your popcorn. And I hope y'all got y'all everything that you need to sit for a couple hours. Because we going to go through how these people play with me. How these people play. How these people play with me. You want chaos. You want chaos. No, you don't. You don't want chaos from Ashras. I can't believe y'all played with Ashras Moon like this. Y'all have no reason why my name is Ashras Moon. And you want to play chaos? Do you see my hair? Do you see my lace? You want to play chaos games? I don't think you're built for that, Bama. I don't think you're built for chaos, Mama. Are you sure? Is FBA sure they ready for chaos? Are you sure? Are you sure playing with me? Y'all all knew better. Y'all know better. And you won't see me in person. That's a beautiful thing. You gonna see me on this phone. You gonna see my face. You gonna hear my mouth on this phone all day long. But you ain't gonna see me in person, boo-boo. And if you see me, you ain't gonna see me. And if you see me, you ain't gonna see me. And that's the truth. That's what I know. See, your energy, none of y'all energy can match me. That's why y'all trying to hide Shorty. But she could go and kiki and be funny and da-da-da-da-da. And then you got your goons telling me, oh, I better not do this. I better not do that. I better not do what? I better not do what? Who gonna do something to me because I said something to who for checking who about me? Who gonna do what to me? That's what I'm saying. Y'all think I was gonna talk to these people like this? You think I ain't gonna talk to you like this? You don't know. That's why I say y'all don't know who y'all playing with on this internet, bro. You better ask my family about me. You see this cute, pretty, light-skinned face. You see this pretty, light-skinned face on my soul. You have no idea. You have no idea what type of monster y'all hoes is dealing with. Y'all have no idea what you did.
You've probably seen this petty beef, between Africans and African Americans.
But we don't know how much American State Department or Justice Department is involved in Foundation of Black America. Who's getting paid the money to say what they're saying? So what you're seeing ain't quite what you see, and there's only a piece of what you see. A black face don't mean you're the FBI, all right? A black face don't mean you ain't the FBI, okay?
This is going to drive some people crazy, but there is no such thing as foundational Black American, because from the start, Black people in the United States came from different African regions, and the label foundational Black American divides more than it actually builds, which we see it online all the time. There is nothing liberating about the term, and the term is mostly used to gatekeep, rank, or dismiss other Black people outside the United States, and I find that deeply xenophobic and rooted in a desperate attachment to patriotism and white supremacy. There's nothing foundational about Black America because there's no Black American written in the Constitution. When the Constitution was written, Black people were enslaved. We were still enslaved. We were not citizens. And we weren't named as people with rights. We were treated as property. So therefore, you can't be foundational to a system that legally excluded you. And I know this is going to go over a lot of people's heads. I'm a Black American with parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents all from the South. But I never want to be called a foundational Black American. I can accept Black American, I can accept African American or Afro American, but not foundational Black American, because foundational ties your identity to a system that never included you. Your lineage doesn't need a gatekeeping level. Besides, Black Americans retain around 90% of African ancestry. So reconnecting with Africa makes far more sense.
Now, Tariq Nasheed, boy, I know you lying. Not you sitting up here after being paid off by the Republicans to sow all this division through your FBA movement. And now you want to go where? Not to Senegal, not to Dakar, not to the land of the Teranga, not to the motherland, after you done got all these Black folks acting like they know how to speak Navajo. No, go to Grand Canyon. Go to Grand Canyon. Huh? Go to Mount Rushmore. You Native American, remember? Huh? You Aztec, you Mayan, you Incan, huh? Huh? No, you're not even Olmec with the big noses and the braids in their hair. You Native American. So what you doing in Senegal? What you doing in the motherland after you done sold all of this division and helped to get Trump in office by having all of this discourse against comedy? Now you want to go to the motherland. Now you want to get free. Nah, keep your position. Hold your position. Go down with the ship.
A big reason why I transitioned into advocating for Pan-Africanism is when I stopped listening to and allowing Tariq Nasheed to think for me. And that's when I realized that he genuinely does not have the Black people in America's best interests at heart. His whole movement and advocacy just feels like he's trying to alienate Black Americans from the rest of the diaspora, all in the name of pride. But yet that pride doesn't come with anything tangible for the community that he says he's looking out for and that he's advocating for. Nor should that come with having to put down, make fun of, or bash or insult any Black person from any other part of the world. Because, like, let's just be real for a second, all right? I'm not sorry, but a Black American museum is about as useless as a screen door on a submarine in 2025. Because Tariq doesn't mobilize unless there's a check involved. Just like BLM and all the other Black movements that have been established in the past decade. And bringing random Africans on TikTok live just to insult them to rage bait for content is not leadership. It's childish, it's immature. It doesn't do anything for your movement. And honestly, it's quite intellectually lazy. We saw him do the exact same thing when the Native Americans fought to protect their heritage as well. Again, just performative outrage with no structure or real movement behind it. Tariq Nasheed does not put anything tangible into Black people here in America. I said, the best way I could sum it up is just pure childish. I didn't realize all of this until I matured myself, until I started to think and speak for myself. At the end of the day, him and his fans, his little supporters, it's pretty much a cult, not a cause. Real reform doesn't come from rage baiting or division. It comes from building infrastructure, from unity, from actually doing work. Tariq loves the spotlight, not the blueprint. That's why he's into attending museums and not movements. That's why all of his followers also sound the same. They just regurgitate everything Tariq Nasheed says. The type of people that don't think for themselves.
Deliberately. These people, I want to drill this in your brain. They know there is no leader.
So he's right. I never claimed him to be a leader, but he is actually the owner. That's even more crazy. He's the owner of y'all streaming of audio, visual. Tariq Nasheed, FBA 2022.
They know this. They know this. The only people who say it is them. I've never said I'm a leader because I'm not. None of you. Nobody of our lineage has.
You all are not of the same lineage. That is so cringe. For you all to be the same lineage, which y'all claim an FBA is, what they also claim it to be an ethnic group, so they're wrong both ways. Y'all have to descend from a same ancestor. That's what a lineage is. Someone on my live was emphasizing line. He said lineage. Well, go to your genealogical bloodline and see if Tariq Nasheed is your daddy, which he may be from the Mackin days.
Every time I come on this app, there is a particular group of people who keep on talking about Africa. And that group is called the FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Well, what I call them is FBA, Fear of Being African. And my thing is, look, if you don't want to be African, don't. Go on and live your happy American life and leave the rest of the Africans to get on and do what they're doing. Because every time I open this app, there's someone crying and complaining about Africa. Africa this,
Africa that. Boycott this, let's boycott that. If it's not Africans, they're complaining about the Caribbeans. If it's not the Caribbeans, they're complaining about the Mexicans. We're tired, bro. Then you got the ones that come and say, we don't look African. Really? 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 At this point, I just got to laugh because it's becoming comedy. We don't have the same features as y'all. We not African. Really? Really? You sure? Are you sure? If you leave the United States and travel the world, go to other countries and say you're anything but an African, or you don't descend from Africans, they look at you like you're crazy. I promise you. Go to anywhere else around the world and say you're Indian, and they'll laugh in your face. Say you're Choctaw, and they'll laugh in your face. Say you're Cherokee, and they'll laugh in your face. Yes, I'm not saying some of you don't have the 1% in you or 2% in you, but let's be fucking real.
So this is just my opinion on the whole FBA thing, the Foundational Black Americans, specifically the group that wants to delineate from Africa, because after I've heard some conversations with some people that identify as FBA, the rhetoric is what is the most confusing thing, because there's some people that are delineating, there's some people that are saying, no, we're not, we are African American, we're just a separate culture within America, and then there's some people that are saying that, no, we're Native. And I think the whole thing of this division comes from the rhetoric itself, because it didn't need to be said. Like, quite frankly, making a delineation between African American, Black American, Foundational Black American, it didn't need to be said. Why I said it didn't need to be said, because it's obvious. Like, me as a 23-year-old, I know that my ancestors created this country because they used slave labor in order to create the country. This is widely known. It didn't need to be said. But the reason why the FBA conversation even came up and why this even is a talking point is because it was a reactionary response to other immigrants from other black countries coming to this country and claiming that black people aren't productive, that they complain about everything, yada, 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 right? And so as a reaction to that, they delineated from the diaspora. Instead of realizing that it didn't need to be said, 2, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and 3, there's no strategy behind it. You're not really progressing the culture into a space that they can actually utilize this now FBA movement as a political strategy against the oppressor, because you're not fighting against other black people across the diaspora, because quite frankly, it doesn't matter what you identify as. If you are of black skin and you come to America, you're going to be treated the same as every other black person in the diaspora. What I really think that the people who created the FBA movement need to actually realize is, what leverage does it give you? America is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. You were American here once you were born here because of natural born citizenship. So it's not something that's necessarily unique. The culture itself is unique, but to be American is not. So you're delineating from a diaspora by claiming America. This is the same thing that the Europeans did that came over here and created the United States of America. They delineated from their European heritage, but then they kept all the exact same European customs. So we're in that same position. We're trying to split off from our African heritage by claiming a nationality, and then not realizing that a lot of the foundations that we created in America for ourselves and our culture come from the things that we kept from Africa. It's a fact. So instead of even having the name Foundational Black American, which did not need to be said, and here's the thing about that rhetoric anyways. The people that say Foundational Black American miss the fact that America and the foundations of America wasn't just the East Coast, okay? We have to remember, the French owned Louisiana. The Spanish owned Florida.
And they brought enslaved people from all over the diaspora, especially from the Caribbean. So if we're talking about who is actually foundational to America, it is the African diaspora, not black Americans. It does not make sense. And here's my other point. It doesn't give us political leverage. It gives us zero political leverage against a system and against an enemy. It doesn't do anything. You're just kind of saying the same thing twice. You're kind of saying something that really did not need to be said. I believe that the term Sulan makes more sense. Here's why. Because there are multiple different cultures within the African continent as a whole. Okay, somebody that's Twi is different from somebody that's Yoruba. Somebody that's Igbo is different from somebody that's Tuareg, right? So we would be a separate tribe of African people within America. That way you can claim two things at once. I don't understand why two things cannot happen at once. This was the whole point of the delineation of African American, is that you were African in heritage, American in nationality. Okay, America is not a nationality. You can't claim America as a continental identity because it doesn't give you leverage.
Check this out. Let's be clear about it. It is very important to make it clear and known that not every African American is on FBA. So when we're talking about FBA, when we're on here talking about FBA, we're not talking to all African Americans because we understand that not all African Americans are FBA. FBA is just a fraction of black people in the black community, basically in the United States of America, because there is no FBA in Africa. And one of my problems with the FBA is they claim not to be from Africa, but when you ask them what race they belong to, they never answer that. So to me, it's just a set of people that are in self-denial. That's how I see it. And secondly, to me, it's like this stands for nothing, because I've never on the news see a situation whereby FBA is standing up for an African American that was wrongfully pulled over by the police or get brutalized or, in any way. I've never seen that kind of support. I've never seen FBA coming out to, stand for a black person in some kind of situation. So to me, they just stand for nothing. The only thing they keep talking about is we built this country, and it's nobody out here looking for who built America. These so-called FBA, they just xenophobic. I mean, their job is just like being xenophobic to other black people. Because lately, that's all I've seen them doing online. And it's like the FBA don't even exist in real life. They only exist on social media. So with that being said, FBA do not represent black people, and FBA do not speak for black people. And when we're talking about FBA, we're not talking about all African Americans, because it is not all African Americans that are members of the FBA. So at the end of the day, collectively, FBA has proven to be a group, a fraction of black people with the brain of a colonizer. That's just what it is. They're just a group of black people with the common ideas of a colonizer. That's what it is.
Hey Lisa, this one for you, sir. Let's let this old school party rock out the shop bar tonight, y'all. Is you ready? Look, old school party. Look it over, old school songs are here tonight, y'all. Old school party. Don't go nowhere, guys. It means stay right there. 1, 3, It's long meeting up, ladies and gentlemen. Contagion is here. Leave it right there.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.